Alright guys, the Atlanta rapper DiorvsYou just got caught lying about being friends slash hanging out with DestroyLonely. Now you're probably wondering how that even happened. So I'm gonna give you some background on the whole situation, why I think he did it, and of course go over the internet's reaction, which was hilarious. So let's get into it. Alright, so this all started when this account named Fentanyl, which is kind of like a play on Bruce Drop Moff's Twitter username, tweeted, "Dior is not a DestroyLonely clone, LMAO." Now, if you're unfamiliar with the whole, conversation, DiorvsYou and like the whole group of Atlanta rappers he's associated with have almost from the beginning of their careers drawn a lot of comparisons to DestroyLonely, and they definitely fall under that like umbrella. Saying they're clones is a bit of a reach, but they're definitely heavily influenced. And Sam Can't Miss responded, "It's so ridiculous to say that when Dior has been developing his sound for years and these people just now finding his music. Cool. And Dior said, "Please say it louder for the ones in the back." So clearly he doesn't want anyone, he doesn't really want this narrative to keep going, right? He's not a fan of it. I mean, you're a rapper getting accused of being a clone. You probably feel the same way. They say this about anyone with a raspy voice for real. You R-word, you sound exactly like him. And to be honest, he does sound a lot like Old Lone. Someone else said, "I find it disrespectful that they compare you to Lone knowing how you are. Never a clone to begin with. They don't realize you've been rapping for years. You're not even gonna admit that you're influenced." Yeah, he's definitely influenced. Anyways, afterwards, he goes on like this rant, right? He says, "I respect every young man from Atlanta that got it though, and take inspiration from every single one of them. I love everyone. But don't break the yay out of me on here, please. I feel like I do everything in my life better than anyone I'm compared to." In other words, he's just saying, yo, I feel like I'm the best, which honestly is a very valid opinion to have. Thinking you're the best. When was the last time one of y'all quote unquote rappers sold a bag, hit a play, do anything in real life for leverage in your life? Y'all just keep signing bad loans with no leverage in life, or just no leverage. Lol. Now the loans he's talking about is rappers signing deals. He's basically saying, look, I'm independent. I've made plays on my own to support myself and do well for myself, and I don't need to sign bad contracts that are gonna screw me over in the future. Which, okay, I get. It's kind of like valid. Then he said, "But y'all slime though on wax." I don't know, maybe he's dissing like some new YSL members, maybe not, who knows, who cares. After that he says, "Yay rant over." Now I'm not gonna lie, this is not remotely a yay rant. This is honestly speaking common sense so far. I'm not gonna lie, there's nothing crazy about it. But then he goes on, he says, "And I only be talking like this because I really know all these guys I was going on for real. People give me the info of how not to drown and be like, swim." I feel like talking about someone very specific, I'll get into right after. He then says, "I'm in a game filled of bozos that got no dog in them. I be hanging with some of them. Doggy dog world though. Only the strong survive." I mean, true. Then guess what? Ian Connor speaks up and he defends Dior. Now, DiorvsYou and Ian Connor seem to be very close. Ian Connor took this whole scene of the Southside Silhouette, Lifeless Garments, Rolling Thorax, etc., Gate Star under his wing for a while. Dior kind of popped up. I'm not gonna say popped up recently. He's been around forever, but he kind of started getting popping recently, and Ian's been really supporting him. I don't know if he signed him or whatever, but you can see Dior supporting Sicko and stuff, and I don't know, they're definitely clicked up. But he says, "Dior only speaks on what he knows. Can't fault a man for what he knows, but listen and learn. Nephew is blessed with the gift of understanding, and that's just as equally as important as his talents." Oh my god. Wise words from Uncle Ian, Mr. 33. I don't know. I guess he's like an OG in the game. Anyways, then he posts 2 songs. He says, "I'm still in the void." Cool. One of them is produced by Rich Amiri. I didn't even know Rich Amiri could produce, but alright. Anyways, then Sam Can't Miss. Now this is this tweet he posted was a direct response to, the original DestroyLonely clone tweet that Dior quoted. He said, "Let's be real. Dior clears currently." Now I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna keep it so real with y'all. DiorvsYou, and I'm not really listening to DiorvsYou like that, but number one, DiorvsYou is he has the soft voice when he raps. It's very similar to Broken Hearts era Lone. Let's be honest, that it's definitely very influenced from there. But his songs right now, some of them are at least on par with Lone, if not some of them better. To me, when you just are so influenced by another artist, I would rather just listen to 2021 Lone or 2020 Lone, if I'm being real with you. But I like some of his songs. They're just, I don't know, they're just not very creative to me personally. But anyways, DiorvsYou says, "Stop doing this. I love that boy." All right. Now here's where the whole, oh, by the way, about Ian Connor, like there was like this screenshot of Ye saying he wanted to sign DiorvsYou a minute ago. Anyways, now here's where the whole thing gets a little got embarrassing. You see, I guess a little later or right after, DiorvsYou was in a Twitter space. If you don't know what a Twitter space is, it's just like people speaking with each other. It's kind of like an Instagram live, but just audio only. He was in a Twitter space with Sam Can't Miss and Days Within, and he said something where he really slipped up. I don't know why he said this, as if he wasn't speaking to media pages that specifically report on his scene. I'm gonna just play the clip right now.
Sure, if you hear Lone, if you hear Cardi, if you hear Thug, if you hear anybody. What? Yeah, wait, he's sitting right here just come on now. I'm influenced by everybody. I was just in the studio with Lone last week. Didn't I just what you talking about, bruh? Huh? I hate no. Wait. Last week this nigga taking my phone off crazy off of the internet, like, bro. This is stupid, bro. I'm just
so he basically says that, yo, I was just kicking it with Lone. I was just with him, you know? And obviously they all went crazy. So he basically starts off the clip by saying, yo, look, I'm influenced by everyone. Cardi, Thug, Lone. I was in the studio with Lone last week. Like, I'd be like off the internet, whatever. I mean, okay, look, bro, you're on a Twitter Spaces with Sam Can't Miss and Days Within, and I think Flex goes on there too. That's as internet as it gets, if we're being real. Great pages, by the way, I'm not gonna lie. Like Days Within is like a half the reason why these people are like relevant, if I'm being real with you. So is Sam Can't Miss, and Flex is also great. You should definitely follow them all. Anyways, let's look at some of the replies. Bro acting like a groupie, let the music drop, ain't no reason to be bragging on being in the studio with other grown men. Not gonna lie, he's right. But Days replied saying, people were dragging Dior's name in the spaces, and as soon as he joined, they left. I don't blame him for feeling some sort of way. Y'all low-key be messing up future collabs with all comparisons online. I don't even think Lone was messing with him to begin with. Wasn't, alright. Anyways, now, guess what? After this went up, it got a decent amount of likes. Guess who saw the tweet? DestroyLonely himself. He said, tap to the whole thing, meaning it didn't happen. Then he said, inspiration is inevitable. Maybe I should sign you. Man, speak about, or talk about disrespectful. Then he said, no diss. I love when rappers will say some that's like overly disrespectful, and they'll be like, yeah, nah, no diss. All right. Someone said it's Dior versus everyone. Maybe I should sign you. And of course, DestroyLonely changed his profile picture right after and deleted all the tweets. Now, first of all, this isn't the first time DestroyLonely has done something like this. He actually did the same thing to Bruce. He said, yo, I never linked with Bruce. And then there was video footage of him linking with Bruce. Now, do I think that Dior was with him in the studio? Probably not. Maybe he was. If he was probably there as a groupie, and Lone might have not even like with him. But yeah, regardless of what happened, this is probably the most embarrassing. Like, DestroyLonely, like, Dior literally said it's a dog eat dog world. DestroyLonely literally just punked him. Like, him. I'm not gonna lie. And everybody reported on this. Somebody said DiorvsYou wipes DestroyLonely. I don't know about that. Bose isn't the word. Here's what Mason Margella said. Top floor boss owns every Ian Connor affiliate. Owned clout chasers like Bruce and Dior within a year for Bappin and claiming opium. Yo, Chain ain't real boy, and you got it snatched by the look killer on 5. Sorry, I pronounced that horribly, but yeah. Dior is actually a sad loser. Ooh. I don't think that's a diss, but how would he feel if someone who inspired him said that to him? Well, I guess the guy who inspired him signed him, so just relaying the energy. Maybe I should sign you. Why did a Metro Boomin fan page say that? Oh, another part of his yay. Okay, there actually was one thing in his yay rant. I have to censor some of these words, but he said, all y'all favorite rappers getting graped for pennies right now. So your main favorite rappers, the more young rappers. Yo, and all my competition done signed they lives too. Y'all get lied to on the daily by fake streams and pump and dump rappers. Okay, I actually remember seeing this, but forgot to mention it. This is a huge part of it, so let me backtrack a little bit. Lone must have seen this and felt some type of way, because he felt like, oh, look, he's calling me out for signing to another rapper, saying I'm in a bad deal, and saying I had fake streams and I was a pump and dump and blah, blah, blah. And that, he took it as disrespect. You also got to think, like, Lone is honestly, like, Lone has flopped, if we're being real with ourselves. That last album was trash. Ken has just been getting bigger and bigger, and Lone is like performing the same venue sizes. I don't know, music not doing that well. Lost all aura. People don't really think he's cool anymore. Yeah, probably wasn't like feeling too good. Anyways, he said, I understand I'm Days Within and I'm extremely biased, but why would DiorvsYou lie about being in the studio with DestroyLonely? He didn't expect Lone to respond. That's what DestroyLonely archive said. Fair enough. He also didn't expect people to clip that space, but again, why would he feel the need to lie about it? Maybe they were in the same studio, but Lone didn't know he was there or something. Now, that's also an explanation, I guess you could say. it could also be that, you know, him hanging around Ian Connor kind of gave him like an ego, if that makes sense. And he just feels like he knows him or he's a part of everything. But I don't know. 42 CEO even said, maybe I should sign you. Yeah, that was pretty funny. Someone else said, sharing clothes, fake watches, lying about being in the presence of another man. You're the biggest fraud in the game. So apparently this was a DiorvsYou flexing a fake watch. There's also a screenshot of Skate Star dissing the guy that made this tweet. Swear alone trying to just humiliate people how they tried to do Bruce, I guess. Anyways, DiorvsYou actually responded to this too, by the way. I need to show you that. He said, lol, this not for me because I just must be insane. I see why Ye be posting text messages. In other words, he was just saying, yo, I see why Ye keeps receipts, etc. Other people were also saying, yo, like, Lone is lying. Who would lie about being in the studio with DestroyLonely in 2025? He's not even that cool. He lied about Bruce. He's probably lying about this too. Maybe he is, but I feel like most people don't care / I don't know. Number one, saying you're in the studio with someone. It's very clear that DestroyLonely does not with DiorvsYou. I feel like DiorvsYou saying, oh, these rappers sign deals. That definitely was. And he said, my competition all signed. And he said sign 2 other rappers. Like, I don't know who in his competition could have signed to another rapper. It's pretty clear he was at least vaguely speaking about DestroyLonely. So he did kind of start it. And then if we're being real, Lone did embarrass the out of him. Like, he's not living this one down. You know what I mean? And it's clearly not proof that he was in the studio with DestroyLonely, or else it would have come out. So as far as, I guess, the public sentiment goes, he lied about being in the studio with DestroyLonely, which, yeah, definitely not gonna go over well. Or, you know, the whole thing about being a rapper is, you know, fans gotta think you're cool. You know what I mean? It starts with the way you dress, the way, you know, you rap, even the shit you speak about, the way, all the way to the way you move. And this is just some lame shit that really did happen. Seems like it for now. So yeah, not exactly great for DiorvsYou. That's all I would say. After that, he posted a song called English Avenue with Apollo Red and this other rapper named Reezy. Also produced by Rich Amiri. Yes. He posted like a sicko link that Kanye reposted. Yeah, he seems over it. I don't know if he actually is. Definitely really embarrassing, but let me know what you think. Personally, I think DiorvsYou, he's definitely still on like this upward trajectory this year. I just think this is really embarrassing. But if you really think about it, this is like good lore almost. Like him getting mentioned by or dissed by DestroyLonely is good for his career. So it's a net positive for him. It's just really embarrassing and not that great for his ego.